Good morning student. In our previous period from unit 3 we completed up to question 4 from Let's Read, which was given in page 52. So now let's moving on further. In our textbook page 53, question is given, let's write. So now you have to write down whatever I am going to write over here in your notebook. So be ready for that. Now start writing with me. Let's write. In our textbook page 53, let's write. Exercise is given. 1. The words in the sentences, are jumbled. Jumbled, that is not in a proper order. Jumbled. Write them in order. Write them in order. 1 is done for you. So in this, one example is given and accordingly we have to do others for you. So the words in the sentences are jumbled. Jumbled, that means the words which are not in a proper order, and what we have to do, we have to arrange them in a proper order and make a meaningful sentence. One example is given. Alone was not Robinson on an island on. So, by reading these words, something idea we getting. Alone was not Robinson an island on. Now we know what is sentence formation. Whenever we write a sentence, first of all, if there is any article is given, then we start from that article, then after subject, then if there is any auxiliary verb like has, was, is, or then after, then we use help main verb, that is a main action of the given sentence, that main verb, and then after object of the sentence. But for such type of question, that arranging the jumbled words and making a proper sentence, there is no proper rule is given. So by trick we have to solve this sentences. Okay, so this example is given. So now in this, Robinson was not alone on an island. So according to the sentence formation, if there is a availability of the subject, then put it as we put it in the sentence formation. Then if there is an auxiliary verb, yes, in this sentence auxiliary verb is given, then we write down after the subject was not, then after if there is a main verb is given, then we write down main verb, and then if there is object is given, then we write down object. So in this way we have to arrange the given sentences in a proper order. Then after, so one example is given. Now further we moving on. To was island the inhabited. So some idea we getting that something is talking about an island, and it's talking about island that it's inhabited, something we getting from these jumble words. Now see in the sentence, can you see any article? So yes, we have. Okay, so first write down the island was inhabited. Then after 3, footprint to someone, this belonged. So in this sentence we getting an idea that we are talking about footprint to someone, this belonged, means here the talking about footprint. So now when we arrange it, this footprint belonged to someone, that the footprint is belonged to someone. Then after 4, I around me looked. So I looked around me. Then next one, I went towards footprint large. So answer is I went towards the large footprint. I went towards the large footprint. Then Next one, was afraid, I, now. So, I, it's a subject, was afraid, now. I was afraid, now. Then after, next one, fill in the blanks. Second exercise, fill in the blanks with the correct word. Now, in this exercise, word box is given. So, with the help of word box, we have to fill the given blanks. So, word box, in that and, but, because, so. These words are given in the word box. Now, with the help of given word box, we have to fill the given blanks. One, I was frightened, frightened, that is fear, frightened, dash, curious. So, what comes in this blank? I was frightened, dash, curious. I was frightened but curious. As I am frightened, but then also I was curious. Then after, I decided to go to the beach, dash, I went along the water's edge. So, I decided to go to the beach, dash, I went along the water's edge. Now, if I put it over there, and I decided to go to the beach and I went along the water's edge. No, here the comma is given. So, this sentence is related with this sentence. Yes or no? So, if I put it over, I decided to go to the beach, but I went along the water's edge, having any meaning? No. I decided to go to the beach because I went along the water's edge. Means I have to go, because of I go to the water edge, I decided to go to the beach. No. I decided to go to the beach, so I along the water edge. That as I decided that I have to go to the beach, so that is why, so I went along the water's edge. Then after, 3 I ran as fast as I could dash. I was frightened. So, in this, frightened. I ran as fast as I could because I was frightened. Because I was frightened, this reason I ran as fast as I could. Then after, next one, four, I was very tired dash confused. So check your word box, in that any word is given which we can use over here. Yes, I was very tired and confused. I was tired also and I was confused also. Then after, next one, next exercise 3. Students, make sure that you are writing in your notebook. You have to note it down, each and everything in your notebook. Then exercise 3, write a story on strange footprint. So, in this, some points are given. We have to use that points and we have to write down a story about a strange footprints. As we read the chapter which was related to Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe also discovered a footprint. He found a strange footprint. So, in the same way, we have to make a story, we have to write down. In that, some points we have to include it, which are given in your textbook. So, pay attention in that. Where did you see the footprints? That in where you find that footprints? What sort of a day was it? Did you see them at night? What happened when you allowed the footprint? What did you see? What happened then? So, these points we have to include in our story part and we have to write down. So, write down. So, here I am not going to write down all that points because that points you can read out from your textbook very well. Okay. So, now in the space given below, start writing. In your notebook also you have to write down and in textbook also. One day I was sitting alone. One day I was sitting alone in a park. Now we have to make out one story by ourselves and we have to include the points which were given in our textbook. So, one day I was sitting alone in a park, apart of the track A part of the track was muddy, that is full of mud, that's muddy. Suddenly, I saw footprint. I saw footprints being made on the mud. So that a part of the track was muddy, that area, that part was muddy. So on that I saw suddenly footprint. I followed the footprint but there was none. So as I saw footprint, as I found footprint, and what I do, I start followed or I checked out, but there was none. So I checked out that whose footprint was that, but there was none. New footprint, new footprints were appearing. So that footprints was seem new, it's a new. Appearing means seems, look like. Appearing as if as if someone was walking away, whether it was a ghost. See students, it's not a real story we are talking about. We have to just make out one story in our own words. Okay, so it was a ghost or an invisible man. Whether it was a ghost or an invisible man, I could not decide. I could not decide. Then I come back. So one day I was sitting alone in a park. A part of the track was muddy. Suddenly I saw footprint. So immediately suddenly I saw footprints being made on the mud. So the muddy area, so on that footprint was there. I followed the footprint and then after I was checked out that footprints, but there was none. New footprints were appearing and it seems like appearing like as if new one. Someone was walking away, like someone is just passed out from there. Whether it was a ghost or an invisible man, I could not decide. So now then after I thinking out that whose footprint was that, whether it is a ghost or an invisible man, but at the end I am not getting a actual reason, or I am not reaching at a particular point, and then after I come back. Okay, so this story you can also write down in your word. If you want to write down some in other way, then you can. Then after, next one, so in our textbook, next exercise is given. Use the joining words given below. So in textbook only joining words are given in word box, and join the sentences in column A and B. In our textbook, word box given or and so, but, because. These words are given. Now, column A, sentences given. First one, I can sing well, but I can't dance at all. I can't dance at all. It is given in column B. Then 2, she wore a raincoat because it was raining. 3, we may go to Shimla and Darjeeling. Then after 4, he wanted a book for his birthday, so he wanted a book or a football for his birthday. He missed the school bus, so he was late to school. I wrote the letter and I forget to post it. So, student, in this period I stop here. Now further will be continue in the next period. Thank you. Goodbye.